Hey, what's going on, TSA? We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do it over here on my page. Let me see if I can get PN over here. We have some issues over there in whatchamacallit in TSA for some, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna see if I can bring them in here. Like I say, man, we just watching this World Series game. Braves up here doing some good things. We left the bases loaded there in the second. Hopefully that don't come back to hurt us. Obviously, man, Houston did that in the bottom of the first, so we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, Morton, I need him to have a good inning, good short inning for this, because he was obviously beat up in that first inning. Didn't give up any runs, but 27 pitches. We obviously don't want to get into the bullpen early in this series. So we'll see how this shakes out, and we'll kind of go from there. But like I say, right now I like our chances. We up 3-0. We avoided a disaster. We should have got some more runs there in the bottom of the second, but at the same time, I think what we're doing is pretty good. We're hitting the ball hard against those guys, and everything. Let's see if this works. All right, P, I'm trying to bring you in. Hey, P, what's up, man?
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, dog. Hey, man, you over there in like you must be, in the old FB County. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
The
it,
boys getting you, man.
it's weird because I got like a weird feedback right now. Let me
Man, they normally.
let me try something here.
That's all good, man.
Okay,
But
I
now, like I
think I
said,
might be up. Okay, I think
I
I'm
had you.
fixed.
I about to say I got you clear, man. So we good on that. Um,
Okay,
I think I'm a little too close. You know what I'm saying?
all right, we
But
ready.
yeah, no, it's all good, man. So so what's good, man?
Hey man, another day, some technical difficulties over here. Facebook,
Hey,
I don't know what the hell they doing, but I can't create posts. I can't
okay.
update the group page. I can't
I
do none of that stuff.
Hey, it's all good, man. Like I say, man, that's why I got to sell. So I jumped in TSA earlier, man, and obviously, you said you couldn't jump in, so I just scrapped that video. But like I say, I'll download this one. I'll post a link to it, put on YouTube, and obviously, man, trying to get some traffic out there, man, and get us some likes and subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? But with that, man, like I say, we can jump on in. I can go first. You can go first. You know me. It doesn't matter to me. So
All right,
I'm
and the
good
way
either
the
way.
bell works, when we got 24 seconds left, I
Okay.
hit the bell.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll go first this week.
Okay.
All right. So we gonna get right into your wheelhouse.
Okay.
Who wins the World Series? Why? How many games? And give me an MVP.
All right. So obviously, real quick, I want to say the Braves gonna win it. They're gonna sweep 4 games to none. That's
Ooh.
what what I'm saying. That's what my
Oh.
heart's saying. You know what I'm saying. But my head's saying it's probably gonna go 6. And I still believe the Braves are gonna win just because I think we're clicking on all cylinders right now. Don't get me wrong. Houston's playing good ball, man. Alvarez, that dude is a monster. And we got to avoid him. Obviously, I was saying earlier, we had the long inning with Morton. I don't want to get into the bullpen too early in this series because
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we saw in the Dodgers series, we got some dominating bullpen, but then at the same time, they almost kind of tricked 2 games away for us. So I'm gonna go
Right.
with Braves in 6. We're gonna win because of our bullpen and our defense, and I'm gonna go with the obvious choice would be Freddie Freeman, but I'm gonna go with
Mm-hmm.
Ozzie Albies as MVP.
Ozzy Albies is MVP.
Yeah, but real quick, what I will say is just that some poetic justice, if you want to call it that. Game 4, Game 5, if we win it in Atlanta, and Manfred is handing us the World Series trophy in the stadium, in the city, in the state that he took away the All-Star game. So I think that would just be some kind of I think that'll just make some people feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I think he took away the All-Star game because y'all was down there flying rebel flags and he ain't want nothing
hey,
to do with it. So
I'm not saying I'm that ain't me, dog, but I got you know what I'm
yeah, so
saying?
Manfred don't make a lot of good decisions, but I actually support him on that one. I thought that was a good call.
I think it was too, but at the same time, like I said, it's you punishing an organization that ain't out there doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And I ain't trying to be, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So it is what it is. But I just think that'll be good just to kind of give it to them. So it'll be good, man. Like I say, Braves. I'm gonna go Braves in 6 though.
Okay, Braves in 6. All right, you up?
All right, so here we go, man. This is I'm gonna bring up a topic that I think has caused a lot of controversy since it was posted. So we're talking about, you know, obviously the NBA is in its 75th year. They did their top 75 players. Obviously that caused some concern for people. But let me ask you this: out of those 75 players that are on there, do you see any surprises or some snubs? And if you do, what 2 players would you add and what 2 players would you remove?
I do see some surprises because they kept all 50. So they basically added another 25 players.
Yep.
Now, here's my first surprise. Why the hell is Damian Lillard on that list?
Bruh. Anthony Davis.
We're going to get to him. Save him. Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, Reggie Miller. Those 3 players right there. And now me and JB went back and forth Reggie Miller, but I'm like, why is Reggie Miller on this list? And this is why sometimes perception is greater than reality. Because one of the players that I think should be on there, the reason he's not on there is going to be because of his clown behavior. But whenever people think of Reggie Miller, it's always the playoff heroics. Basically, you know, what he did against the Knicks.
Yep.
When I think of Damian Lillard, I think of a guy that's only been in the 1 conference finals. I think of a guy last year that lost to the backcourt of Denver with Campazzo and Austin Rivers, who was sitting on the couch. But whenever people think of Damian Lillard, for some reason, all they remember is, you know, the big shots, you know, because he's had a couple of big shots. But at the end of the day, the substance isn't there. Right. So I'm definitely adding Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was more dominant in his time than Anthony Davis. Dwight Howard, when he was in his prime, that guy was being compared to LeBron James as far as, okay, which guy would you want to build a team around? That's where he was.
Okay.
Defensive player of the year. A guy that beat LeBron in his 60-win team, went to the finals, losing his only all-star at the time, Jameer Nelson, who didn't come back healthy. Because remember, they had old AJ running point. And
it was.
still
I thought
beat that LeBron.
Rayford.
Yeah, and Rayford was there too.
Yep.
Rayford and AJ was running point, right? But he sort of fell off when he went to Houston and, you know, got labeled a clown, and he had the Washington years and things like that. Yep. So I would really take him over Anthony Davis.
Okay.
They both got 1 ring because of LeBron. I mean, you know, Anthony Davis for 7 years only won 1 playoff series when he was supposed to be the man, and he's proved to be nothing but number 2.
Yep.
And I am taking off Reggie Miller, and I will add Joe Dumars.
Ooh, okay.
I think Joe Dumars is one of the best 2-way players ever in the game. Joe Dumars is a 2-time champion. And I feel at the end of the day, he has more substance than Reggie Miller and makes a stronger case. So I could take him. I mean, I could add Alex English. I mean, I could do a whole show on this because you know, there's, like I said, Damian Lillard definitely has to go. But right now, I got to give myself the buzzer.
I got you. Nah, man, I like I say, I agree with you, man, on Dwight. And you know me, I'm always been tough on that dude, man. Ever since he came in, I wanted Atlanta to get him just because he was the hometown kid. Right. Like I say, I think he would have been there. But again, I think he's kind of getting, in my opinion, a little bit of that T.O. treatment, you know, with just how he kind of acted or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm good with replacing Anthony Davis with him for sure, Damian Lillard, and probably Reggie Miller, with at least adding Dwight and Alex English. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with those, man.
All right, here we go.
All right.
1 week into the season, very early, you know, the ball just started bouncing.
Yep.
What team has surprised you the most, good and bad? Who have you looked at and went, oh, they might be in for something decent this year? And who have you looked at and went, Oh, this might not go to as I thought it would go. Well, besides your Nuggets.
Yeah.
But we'll get it. I ain't forgot, but go ahead.
Or the Raptors, you know what I'm saying? I kind of
Yeah,
messed that up last week. You know, hey, I might have
that's okay.
had a couple of too many hooks, you know what I'm saying? But I mean,
We
the
got
obvious
somebody
choice.
saying the Hornets. Okay.
Oh Lord.
I see you,
The
Jeff.
the obvious choice to me that's for things that's gone bad is the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I know it's early, and I think they're like 1-2, or they might even be 1-1. But
One and two.
It just seems like right now somebody posted something about Russell Westbrook the other day, and the concerning stat for me was he's shooting 41% from the free throw line. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not good. I don't care what team chemistry you got or what new team you're on, man. You gotta make free throws. So, and then you obviously saw the blow up between Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. So like I say, I would expect something like that maybe mid-season if you were at, but you guys was like 0-1 or something like that at that time, and y'all already fighting. Come on, man. That's not gonna get it. Right now, I'm gonna say a team that's surprising me is the Hawks, man. Like I said, I mean, we all, you know, I know they played 3 games now. They just blew out Detroit last night. I know they lost on the road to the Cavs the other day, but I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from John Collins. I'm liking what I'm seeing off the bench with Bogdanovic, and you know, obviously Clint's going to get his. So those are the 2 teams right now that like I said, just kind of surprising. Obviously the season's early, like you said. And another team that's kind of shocking me is Brooklyn, just with kind of how they're, you know, going kind of back and forth like they were the other day. I know they kind of came back and was it the other day? I think they came back the other day. I can't remember, but like I say, they're on kind of shaky terms as well. But I think a lot of that comes down to coaching. You know me, I'm not a Steve Nash guy at all, man. So,
Right.
but like I say, those would be the 2 teams right now that I had to pick. Look at that, right on time.
Perfect timing, brother. Hey. That's
I
all
love
right
it.
there, Matt.
Hey, I don't even have no stopwatch over here. So, all right, man. So I'm gonna jump into this one. Kind of similar to that, but we're gonna go to football.
Okay.
Currently, right now, the Bengals and the Cards have the number 1 seed in both in the AFC and the NFC, respectively. My question to you is: will this hold? And if not, who's going to overtake them for the number 1 seed in each conference?
When I look at the standings, I start in NFC. I think Arizona holds because I think they're going to go to 8-0 because the way it looks like Green Bay's wide receivers are going for this game, it looks like they might have to call up Sterling Sharp and Donald Driver and a couple other guys, right? So I think they
Don
go ahead
Beebe.
on. Yeah, I think they go ahead on and take care of a Green Bay, which is going to give them 8-0 and also give them a tiebreaker. The only other team I think would challenge them would be Dallas, because
Okay.
Dallas's division is so bad.
Yep.
You know, their division is horrible. So
Okay.
I don't know how they don't go 6-0 in their division. Where when you look at Arizona, Seattle's not what we thought it was, and neither was San Francisco, but you still got to deal with the Rams. But I'm going to pick those guys to hold on. I think the Cardinals hold on. Now, when I look at the AFC, and I was thinking about this when I was at the gym earlier, it's a part of me where Blake Washington said it earlier. I think Buffalo really might be the most complete team in the AFC. Now, I really love what the Bengals have done because, to me, the Bengals are everything that a lot of people thought the Dolphins were going to be. And Joe Burrow is really playing some good ball.
Yep.
Really, he's good. Now, he manages throws 1 interception every week, but that's okay because he'll throw for 350 as well. But Joe Cool is playing some damn good football. So I don't want to take anything away from Cincinnati. And they went there last week, and they really did give it to Baltimore. Like
they did. Jamar Chase.
I think Baltimore sort of went to that game. You know how when you used to beating a team and you like, okay, I know they got a good record, but we'll beat them. And once they realized Cincinnati got that lead, it was like, oh, shit, it's too late. Because the Bengals was like, yeah, got you. So I'm going to go with Buffalo because I still think that division, having to deal with Baltimore again, can Cleveland ever get it together? And Pittsburgh being that natural rival, I'm going to give them the edge. I don't see it for Tennessee long term, and the Raiders, I don't see it for those guys either. I still expect for the Chargers to win that division.
I could see that. Like I said, I would go with I would go with Buffalo as well. And like you said, I agree with you on Arizona. Like I said, unless Cliff just tricks away a couple of games, they ain't got no business losing. I could see them kind of running away with that division. They won't end undefeated. I think they'll probably end 13-3, something like that. But like I say, that's good. And I owe apology to Bengals fans right now because I'm looking kind of wrong on them passing for Jamar Chase for Penny Sewell or some offensive line help. So right now, I apologize, Bengals fans, if there are any.
So we're gonna stay with football.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs right now sit 3-4, third in their division.
Okay.
3-4, third in their division. Do they make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Right now, if they keep the team like they have right now, the answer is no.
Well, they ain't gonna be able to change the team, Matt. So do they make the playoffs? Yes or no?
What I'm saying, no, they're not going to because, like I say, they're not going to go out and add nobody on defense via trade or anything like that. And I just don't see them cutting down on the turnovers. I mean, obviously, it seems like I think I read it or saw it the other day. Teams have kind of figured them out. They have no running game. You know what I'm saying? So teams are just dropping back. They're just rushing 3 or 4, dropping 7 or 8, and saying. And we talked about it the other day, Tyreek Hill, you don't scare me. You don't scare me running deep because you ain't running no flag post. You're running
the most overrated wide receiver in the NFL. But nobody want to say that because we all like him. But he really is the most overrated wide receiver.
Hey, and I got that joke on my fantasy team, and we'll get to a fantasy question here later on in the show. But right now, he might end up on the bench or on the waiver wire. But like I said, I just don't see them unless they add some kind of dominant defensive player, which I don't think there's anybody out there that's dumping high salary defensive players. They're not going to, and like I say, they just don't have a running game to kind of to take any of that pressure off Patty. And like I still think he's a good quarterback, but he's still going to continue to force passes and have turnovers because they don't have a running game, and it's going to cost them. So right now, if they don't make any changes on defense, they will not make the playoffs. They'll probably end about 6-11, 7-10, something like that. They'll be under 500. Last place.
I can agree with that. And Logan, and if they get the right defense, who said he thinks the Bengals makes it to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years, if they get the right defensive players, I agree with you. They definitely could. In the next 3 years, they could. They got some work to do on that defensive side of the ball, but
he might be the only Bengals fan that I know.
Oh, is that why we're saying this? Oh, I thought he was just being objective. I didn't know he was being a homer. Okay, I take that back. They ain't going, bro. They not making it. I take all that back. You gotta let me know who I'm talking to, Matt.
Hey, like I say, man, we on my page, so it's people just hopping on, man. You know how it is. This is the kind of stuff I like, man. So it kind of gives you that real, like we in the studio type feel, and people just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? So sticking with the NFL, like obviously we was heavy NBA last week. The percentage of a coach getting fired. So I'm gonna give you 4 coaches, and I want your percentage on whether or not they're gonna get fired. So the first one, I'm going to go with Brian Flores in Miami.
Brian Flores, I think is still on sort of a honeymoon. So I'm going to put him at 25%.
Okay.
And Tua is still young. We still finding out exactly what we have in Tua. There's rumors they might make the trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop him down to 20%. 20%.
Okay. All right. You're gonna give him you giving him a pass a little bit.
Yes.
All right. And like I said, I still think, and we talked about this at our draft show, I still think if they would have picked Jamar Chase to give him a legit weapon to him, I think things would be a little bit different. But anyway, that's another show. All right. Judge up in New York.
Same situation. I think I was telling people, I think what was going to happen with New York beginning of the year is, Barkley comes back. You draft the wide receiver out of Florida, Tony. You have Slayton. Okay, Galladay hasn't exactly worked out. You got Evan Ingram at tight end. I think that they're going to have enough weapons that when the dust settles, they're going to sit back and realize what I've always thought. Danny Nichols is not that guy. So I think Judge survives and they go another route as a quarterback. So I think Judge, I'm going to put him at 20% too.
Okay. All right. So like I say, I think their whole future relies on Saquon, and we've seen that he can't stay off the trainer's table, man. And it's unfortunate because when he plays, he's dynamic. Right. Probably one of the top 5 running backs in the league. So the next guy, I already know where you're going with this one, probably 110%. Your man in Chicago, Nagy.
Yes, sir. Matt Nagy. Been waiting on this guy. I think that there's a 75% chance he gets fired. Okay. After the bye week. We played the Steelers week 9, then we have a bye week, and I think at that point in time he's done. Matt Nagy's done. And I think Ryan Pace, who's also on his last year, you have to remember, 5 years there as a GM, made the playoffs twice, never won a playoff game. Yep. Everybody's looking at the roster and sort of thinking, what have you done with this roster? If you look at our offensive line, it's a joke. You calling up guys like Peters, who was out fishing, to come play tackle because the tackle you drafted has a bad back. Yeah. You know, you still reeling from the Mitch Trubisky thing, which set the franchise back. Now you got a rookie quarterback that's obviously you not putting him in the best position because the kid's running for his life.
And that's what I wanted to ask you with Nagy and him getting fired. Is it more of his mismanagement of Justin Fields and that over the past couple of weeks, or has it just been a combination of a lot of things over time?
A combination of a lot of things. Bears being very undisciplined, stupid penalties, you know, players getting ejected, throwing punches, and I always see that with those guys. So that's a lack of discipline. So I'm putting him at 70%. And also, like I said, I think a piece of that too is Nagy's going to try to do that to save his job. Yeah. He's going to try to do that to save his job as well. I got you. So I'm putting him at 70%.
All right. So Nagy's in the lead right now of getting fired. And the last guy, I think that we'll all agree his time is run out, and that's my man, old Petey up in Seattle.
Do not agree with you. 0% Pete Carroll gets fired.
What?
Pete Carroll has made the playoffs 9 out of 11 years.
Okay.
Last year they went 12-4.
Okay.
What we're seeing right now is the impact of having a franchise quarterback not be there. Okay. You're seeing what the difference that Russell Wilson makes. Now, could Pete Carroll possibly step away at the end of the year? Because that roster needs to turn over. You're paying Russell a ton of money. The rumors of him not being, you know, completely opposed to being traded are true. So could you see them maybe move Russell Wilson and sort of, okay, we got to reset this thing. Pete Carroll's 70 years old, so it's time to step away. Now, do I think that's going to happen at the end of the season? I give that one 50-50. But Pete Carroll getting fired this year, 0%, my friend, 0%.
Right. So with that being said, so like you said, so now I think we're showing everybody that you have to have a franchise quarterback to be successful in the NFL. Is that what you're saying with Russell Wilson being out?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. And hey, if Russell gets traded, do the Bears give him a phone call, or y'all gonna ride out Justin Fields?
The kid deserves a chance.
I know.
Next year when we hire Brian Dable as the head coach, we'll see.
All right, I like it.
All right. Now, I don't need you to be a homer on this one.
Okay.
There are 2 dynamic young point guards in the NBA.
Okay.
Ja Morant and your guy down there, old Featherhead.
All right.
So you're building a team today.
Okay.
Who do you build around? Ja Morant or Featherhead?
All right. Obviously, man, you told me not to be a homer, and we've talked about this before. I like Ja Morant's game better than I like Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? I think Ja game is better. Trae is obviously a better shooter in my opinion, but Ja just goes to the cup. He you know what I'm saying? We saw that last year. Obviously when they were outmatched in their playoff play-in game, I think they had against the series when they were playing Utah. He gave it his all. He just didn't have enough down there, but he's aggressive and he goes to the hole. So I'm going to go with him over Trae Young, which I like, and I'm seeing. You saw last year, like and maybe I'll chalk a little bit of up to immaturity with Trae was, he was looking for the call too much, too concerned with the refs and what they were and weren't doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you ain't a superstar yet, man. You're not finna get them KD type calls, man. So I need you to play basketball. But with that being said, I'm gonna take Ja just because I like his game better, and I think he's a better overall all around player than Trae. Obviously, we've seen that Trae can shoot from Chef Curry type range, but that's really all that he brings to the game, in my opinion. Just a good shooter. He can distribute a little bit, but I like Ja's game overall a lot better, and especially on the defensive end. And defense to me, obviously you and I coach together, and we preach defense, and we're not seeing a lot of that in the NBA right now, if any at all.
Right.
It's a lost art, but I like Ja's defense more than I like Trae Young.
Now, somebody chimed in and threw LaMelo's name out there. We were only going to discuss these two, but I'll mention him briefly. I think if I was going to put LaMelo in here, I think in another year, I think I would go Ja, LaMelo, and then Trae. And the reason I would do that is because LaMelo really looks like he has a chance to be special.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a different gear and that size. That dude really is a legit 6'7" point guard.
Yeah.
And he'll have the ability to do things on the defensive end that Trae doesn't even attempt to play defense.
Yep.
And I'm sort of old school. I like the
Yep.
step backs. I like all that. I like the shimmy. I like the breakdown. But I like for somebody to be able to squat and stop somebody as well. And
Absolutely.
he doesn't do that. So if LaMelo keeps going, I will put LaMelo above Trae Young.
Hey, well, I will tell you this. If we're going to go down that road, let's go ahead and throw my man, Anthony Edwards, in there, too, because I like his game, too, man. He's on a bad team.
But see, Ant-Man a two guard. We just doing point guard.
I know. I'm just saying, like I said, but I like LaMelo too, man. And I know we all gave my man Big Var a lot of problems in the offseason before about what he was and wasn't doing. But that kid is showing out, man. I really do. And like I say, I definitely take him above Trae as well, just because of the defense and the length that you spoke of. So that's good, all man. Right. I think we're all in agreement on Ja Morant. That dude is just a killer. All right, man, here we go. So this is one. I was watching some YouTube clips last night, and if you haven't watched it, that 4-part series they got on Inside the NBA, where they talk to each one of the 4 guys. Yes, that's a good mini series, man. So my question to you is, what is the best pregame show out of these 4 I'm finna tell you, and how would you rank them? So we got College Game Day, Inside the NBA, Sunday NFL Countdown, and NBA Countdown on ESPN.
Okay, I'm gonna put Inside the NBA. That's well, hold on. The NBA, when you're talking about ABC show, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Make sure. ABC shows at the bottom.
Okay.
That show's horrible. Now I know they got Stephen A. Smith on there, and they've gone through so many hosts. From Chauncey Billups, and we have Paul Pierce on there saying crazy stuff each week.
Yep.
That show's bad. It's sort of like a knockoff wannabe Inside the NBA.
Yep.
And I know like they're supposed to have Jalen Rose and Stephen A. I haven't even watched it yet. So
okay.
they're at the bottom.
All right.
Next, third on the list would be NFL Countdown.
All right. It's
3 hours, a little bit too much for me. And honestly, during NFL Countdown time, I'm watching a fantasy show. I take the fantasy show over NFL Countdown.
Okay.
Now, second on the list is College Game Day.
Okay.
It's a tradition.
Yep.
Plus we all love Lee Corso.
Yep.
Even though he's getting to the point where I think they have to remind Lee Corso what it is he's supposed to say and exactly where they are sometimes.
Well,
God bless him.
I think old Herbie helps him out over there a lot, man, and you can kind of see it, man.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's still that dude, man, and people still show up to see him and put his headgear on and everything.
And it's a staple. I love when they go and they go to different colleges and things like that. It's Saturday morning usually it's always on in the background.
Yep.
While I'm moving around. And the best show is the show that wins all the Emmys, Inside the NBA.
Yep.
I was watching it before I left and went to the gym, And those guys are good because you have, not only do you have great chemistry on that show, you have great credibility. You know,
Yeah.
Shaq is one of the greatest to ever do it. Kenny Smith was just clutch. You know,
Yeah.
two-time champion, clutch. And Charles Barkley, who gets a lot of stuff, is one of the greatest to ever do it as well.
Yep.
So, without a doubt, that show is light years ahead of everybody else. There's times where I'll miss the games and I tune in just to see what they're going to do after the games go off.
Oh yeah. And like I say, man, I think, like you said, and Ernie kind of brings it together. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, there's really no script. They just kind of talk and say what they want to say. You know, Chuck and Shaq always going at each other, clowning each other. You know, the best thing they got is, Chuck, you ain't got no ring, so you can't talk about this, which is, hey, it is what it is. But, you know, like I say, man, Chuck brings that insight to it that you obviously don't get on those last two shows that you got. And with College Game Day, you know, you're not going to go wrong with having either one of those shows on, watching it. But I agree with you. Just I like Inside just because of those guys and just the clowning that they do on the show. And it's like, you know, last night or the other night they had Wayne Gretzky on there and they were trying to, you know, shoot pucks or whatever. And, you know, Chuck talking about he was a hockey player. Get out of here, man. So it's just
stuff like that.
Exactly. It just makes it good, man. So like I said, I agree with you on that. And, you know, even on college or NFL Countdown, man, I think if they were to change up some of the people they have on there, I like Randy on there. I like what's his name, old Rex Ryan, because he brings, you know, like a defensive mindset to it. Randy brings, you know, that offensive mindset, but Hasselbeck is terrible. And Brewski, I just don't like him because he was a Patriot. So like this, get out of here. So
I don't like the mix. I don't even watch. I watch the fantasy show. I don't even mess with those guys. Mac, we did it, man. Hey, man.
Yeah, we done already? We done already? Damn.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Hey, so two things real quick, man. So obviously you and I, we got a head-to-head fantasy going on this weekend. Me and you. Obviously, I think I'm in first place. Kind of squeaked out a win the other night going through the bye week, so it'll be good. And then obviously in our college pick'em, you and I are neck and neck. Hell, I think you and I are probably the only people that's playing, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm definitely gonna win the college one, and I'm gonna win this weekend.
Well, I don't know about either one of those, but you know, if you
I'm leading the college one. I'm leading the college one.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, we midway through the season, man. So I got two more real quick questions to ask you now. So some prisoner of the moment or legit, you know, observations real quick. Prisoner of the moment right now. Every first round quarterback in this year's draft will be a bust.
Definitely prisoner of the moment.
Okay.
You gotta let the kids grow. Let them grow. Some of them aren't in best positions either.
Okay. All right. Another one real quick. And we saw it in TSA. Jamar Chase, best offensive or best young wide receiver in the game right now.
I want to see him play a whole year.
Okay.
He's a hog. Remember last year we were saying this about Jefferson up there in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And let me tell it, I still think CeeDee Lamb is more
People
talented.
Forget about him.
I think Lamb is more talented than Jefferson. I just think that in Dallas is more mouths to feed. Yeah. But I really think that Lamb is more talented than Jefferson.
Okay. And this one is right here is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is going to run for over 2,100 yards. I seen it. I seen somebody talk about it today.
No.
I think he'll get close. I think he'll get 2,000. I think he'll get 2,000. He won't. You don't think so?
I don't think he gets 2,000 this year.
Even with the extra game.
Even with the extra game.
Ooh, man, that's close. I like it. All right, and my last question for you, man. If you could be a star in any sport, not football, baseball, basketball, what would it be?
Not one of those three?
Yep, not one of those three. So some kind of random sport.
Oh, man, that's good. I would say tennis.
All right. I like it.
Because I grew up, you know, watching McEnroe and Borg and those guys. So, yeah, tennis.
I got you. So tennis. If it was me, for me, I'm going to go with bowling. And the reason I say bowling And the reason I say bowling is because obviously when I was younger and I didn't really have a lot of money, that's a place you could take, a little date there for about $5. And, you
Mm-hmm.
can go out there and roll the ball. And, I could probably roll about a good 120 or something like that. At least I thought that was good, but obviously it's no
Right.
good. But I would go with bowling, get my little Pete Weber on out there. So,
Pete Weber was the guy. Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, no, man, it was good, man. Good show tonight. Obviously, my Braves are out here destroying Houston right now. We up 5-0. We've already been to the bullpen though in the bottom of the third. I'm not really too excited about that. But obviously, we'll see how it is. Hopefully, we can hold this lead. But it's a good show, man. Obviously, like I said, I'll put this out on the YouTube for the folks in TSA. I'll drop the link on in TSA because it sounds like the feds watching you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to get caught up.
Man, I ain't even do nothing, man. I ain't do
I hear
nothing.
you. I hear you, man. So like I said, we'll get up next week. Obviously, good luck to the Bulls this week. Unless they play in the Hawks. I ain't checked out the schedule.
No. We got the Knicks on Thursday.
Okay, well, hey, I'm going for y'all because I can't stand the Knicks, and I want to see Spike lose in his corduroy polka dotted coat that he's gonna have on or whatever. So,
All right, fair enough.
But all right, brother, we'll holler at you, man.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out.